Mira, welcome to the program. I'm so excited to talk to you about all your different programs and your business.
Thank you, Gina. I'm so glad to be here and I appreciate your time and your wisdom.
So I framed you up in the intro is that you're the ingredient guru and you've got this course. Let's start with that first course, or I know you've got a couple of different programs and we'll talk about them. The Preparedness Pantry Masterclass that you're selling right now. And you have shared with me very vulnerably that I love that is not selling as well as you'd like. And I have listeners who come to me all the time and say, I put this program out there, I put my heart and soul into it, and it just did not resonate, just did not sell as much as I thought it would. And I interviewed you a little bit before we started, but tell the listeners why you decided to put out this course and what it's about.
Sure. So I have had people come to me over the years asking me if I would teach about preparedness, and not, a huge amount, but just over the years, things would happen and they would ask. And then after Hurricane Harvey in 2017, my family, we got flooded out of two houses. We got flooded. Our daughter got flooded. My business got flooded. And so people started hearing me talk about some of the things that I had done and told me that I needed to share about that. And I was like, well, preparedness is not really my bag. I'll talk to you a little bit about it. And then I began to realize that, my family, for better or worse, has been through a lot. And then in September of February of 2021, the great Texas snowpocalypse happened. The power grid shut down. A lot of bad things happened. And I realized that the time truly had come. And I reached out to my community and I said, hey, would you be interested in learning more about preparedness? And the answer that I got was a resounding yes, because people
Yeah.
wanted to know, what did they need to have on hand? People with special diets were like, I'm stuck. The grocery stores are empty. I don't know what to do. And so I put this class together because it's built on years of experience, and it ties into my philosophy as the ingredient guru about eating well for your body without chemical crap. Because truthfully, so many people were rushing to the store to buy the $175 bucket of garbage that they sell.
Yeah, and I love your mission behind this course. I think, and then just it's 249. You're doing a special offer right now for $50 off. So I think a few things. I think when we ask people like, "Hey, do you want this?" We're like, "Oh yeah, I don't want that to happen to me." And then when the time comes to purchase, they don't want to buy it
Right.
because, right? Because do we really want to be that prepared? Like pandemic's over. Like we want to be beyond that. We want to be running around outside. So I think it's like cybersecurity. We
Mhm.
need it for our websites, but we don't really want to buy it in advance, right? So and what is that OS moment where they realize they need it before the storm comes, right? Before something hits. So as advantageous as this sounds, I would almost want you marketing before a storm hits. Like,
And it's so interesting you should say that, because one of
yeah,
the things that I've started doing is talking with my assistant to build out some things to remind people. We've just had a horrific hurricane season in Florida, and
yes.
then further up the coast, all the way up to New England, and then even up to Canada. And I'm telling the people over in California, okay, these hurricanes are happening on the other side of the country, but trust me, wildfire season is coming, mudslide season is coming, earthquake season is coming, and those are natural disasters that you may need to leave for. But if there are things that are happening that are going to impact your food supply, that are going to impact the safety of your family, and you need to have on hand what you need, and you need to know what your family is going to do. And as a matter of fact, the tagline for the program is, the best time to prepare for an emergency is before there is one.
Yeah, and I love that, and I just don't think people want to do that. Like I think you're right. The bet like you will have a small percentage of the population, and you know who those people are, the planners. My son's friend Declan, his mom, Erin, doesn't listen to this podcast, but she texts me 2 months in advance. Hey, did you see this? Did you know this? What are you doing for the holidays 3 months in advance? Erin will buy this program. But most of us, my hallucination is, are not preppers like that. So I think you might have something with the hurricane season because that's something that's big in Florida. But like you meant, we have wildfires here all the time. We're susceptible to earthquakes I would not prepare for that. I think most people, unless they know it's coming, then like the week before, and then it's a $200 program. I would offer them something that's cheaper, like $50 to be prepared in your peace of mind. And maybe you truncate that course, you break it up. So you don't offer all, because I know you've got chock full of goodies in there. So uh or I want you to consider, because before we came on, you said in this course, I'm going to save you money. I'm going to save you time with your special diet, and I'm going to save you the stress to have that special diet stuff on hand. And I went, yes, I want that. I'm trying to go gluten-free right now. It is not going great, but I'm trying. If you're telling me you're going to save me time and stress and money because I'm trying to go gluten-free, I'll buy that. Because
Mhm.
I want to lose weight. I want to not be gassy. Sorry, guys. Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I want. So when you ask people, yes, they want that. They want the preparedness, Mira, but they don't really, they need it, but they don't really want it right now. Does that make sense?
Well, and I think that's one of the things that I'm running into is everybody said they wanted it. And then, as soon as I finished putting it together and promoted it, I mean, I have had sales. I just haven't had
Yeah.
as many sales as I had hoped for.
Right.
And the issue is everybody waits until there's a storm and then they go,
That's
oh,
right.
flood. And then they're in horrible weather, driving to the grocery store. The shelves are empty. See, that's one of the other things that really drives me crazy is some people go in and they hoard. They don't
Yeah.
buy what they need for their family. They buy everything, not because they're mean, but because they're in a
I
panic
know. Right.
state.
Because they're in panic.
Right. And then
Yeah.
what happens is the only thing that's left is chips and ho-hos.
Right.
And
Yes.
that is not going
This
to
is an
nourish
issue.
anybody.
I'm not denying this is an issue. Just like cybersecurity is an issue, right? But we don't get the help we need until it's too late, oftentimes.
Right.
So I would love for you to do a targeted campaign right before hurricane season. I'd like you to drop the price. And then right after that first hurricane hits, I know it's terrible, but like really run ads against, I don't know if you're running ads or really get inside those groups. Like I know Hurricane blank just hit. Now more than ever, if you guys, it's a $50 off to just have that peace of mind. So because hurricane season's longer than ever. My husband's from Miami. Those
Yeah.
dang things are like months and months now. So I would like to see something like that for you, Mira, for this. And then
Okay.
the other thing I want to say to you is you call it the masterclass. I hear masterclass, I think free. So I hear webinar. I think
Okay.
webinar. So I'd like you to change it to, how arrogant is that? I'd like you to change the name of your program to course, program, training. I think because some people are gonna assume it's free. Like I thought, oh, I'm gonna take a masterclass with Mira.
So then I would be willing to change it to I mean, oh God, the branding.
Ah,
Well,
well, yeah,
but
and listen, if they get inside the program and it's called masterclass, okay. But for the
right, right.
marketing, just change it.
So yeah, because
Uh,
I'm a huge fan of alliteration. So the preparedness pantry program is not a bad thing.
oh, the triple P baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then tell me, because I saw your, and here's another thing. It's a checkout page masquerading as a sales page. So Ivy is our connection. Ivy built this beautiful checkout page. I gotta give her props. It's a great Thrive Cart page. I would like to see more of a simple sales page on that, that clicks over then to the checkout page. So what's the difference? The difference is the simple sales page gives me all the information I need. And then as soon as I click over, I buy. Because right now, I think I got to scroll down on your page. Is that right? Uh,
There's a couple of spots
there's
where
a
you
couple
can.
of anchor text. Okay. So let's change the name. And then I would love to see the benefits, like save time, save the stress, save the money, like, because I know right now the focus is like hurricane season's coming, or you're gonna lose the heat, whatever. Like, if you add some of those other benefits,
Mhm.
and then drop the price, because I think we were talking. I want to talk about your other programs because you got some really great programs. And then test that and see what happens. And I think the other challenge here is, because I asked what's your bread and butter content before we hopped on, and you said you were the gut health lady, right? You didn't say the gut health lady, I'm
But yeah.
paraphrasing. And what the heck are these chemicals in my food, lady? Right?
Yeah.
So if that's your sweet spot, then that's what I want you putting out front and center. That's what I want you selling me for the holidays and stuff. Like I want gut health from you. Like you mentioned I have a breakfast for busy people and did I perk up? I was like, "Wait,
Yes, you
how much is
did.
that one? Where can I get it? I want it. I like breakfast and I'm busy." So, and then you said you have a migraine one. And I'm like,
Yes.
I don't even get migraines. I'm interested in that. Or I have friends who have migraines. Like
Right.
middle-aged women, like I've got a million friends who have migraines. So those are those I think more of what you should hang your hat on. And then this preparedness pantry program is something that you do seasonal, that you do depend you target based on, and then you have it on your site like, hey, do you have something that's about to come up and it might compromise your pantry, or are you a planner, are you an Erin, right? So the Erins have bought from you, right? God bless
Right.
the Erins, thank you
Right.
for being here. But the Ginas will not buy from you, right? So let me stop there because I've been talking a lot. What do you think about all this?
So I think it definitely sounds interesting. I think one of the things that would be a little bit of a challenge, but it doesn't
Mm,
mean it's not doable, is to promote seasonally means we would have to do a rotating promotion across the country because the
yeah, that might
season
not
is
be
different in
reasonable, right?
every area.
Yeah.
So, for example, in the north, blizzard. Like I remember we used to live in Vermont. We were 30
Oh
minutes
yeah.
from the Canadian border.
Oh boy.
And a couple times a year, like you were not getting anywhere. And so if you did not have it, you went without because you
Yeah.
just were not getting out. And
Yep.
that honestly is where my family's preparedness journey started.
Hmm.
Even though prior to that, we had already been through one hurricane, one earthquake.
Yeah.
Um, and so, I mean, that's fine. I would love some help with pricing because, you and
Yeah.
I talked about the fact. So my Breakfast for Busy People program
Yeah.
is something that I've only ever taught live, and the goal is to build it out into an online. And we also talked about the fact that part of the reason I'm building these online is because I want to be able to help more people. I'm in Texas,
Yes.
and you know,
Yes. I want you to help more
great,
people.
but if you're
Yeah.
in Maryland
Yeah.
or South Dakota,
San Diego, right?
San
Yeah, I
Diego,
want
right?
your help. This is
Um,
great, and I want you to have that reach. Uh, let's go back to the promotion first. When I say seasonal, you could just have it up on your site, and then hey, winter, Vermont. I just know they got a ton of snow. I have a client in Vermont, and they're like, oh, foot of snow already. I'm like, God bless you guys. So,
Now,
hey, winter season.
preparedness
Yeah,
season, the
yeah,
governmental preparedness month
yeah.
is September. So I
Okay,
could just promote
great.
like do a heavy promotion in September every year.
Great.
Okay.
It's hurricanes, it's the winter's coming, right?
Right.
So and then but it's just on your site. Great. So I
Right.
don't want you to do like a huge push, and maybe if you run ads, you run a couple of ads. Let's that's it. I don't want you to have to like over segment or over target on that. Let's talk about pricing. So what do I get for, because I'm fascinated, I want this course. What do I get in Breakfast for Busy People? What's
So
my promise?
so the promise is I'm not only going to save you time when it comes to making breakfast, I'm going to teach you the 3 easy ways to prepare breakfast. And
Okay.
so there's 3 different categories for breakfast in order to help you understand how to have a nourishing meal for your family. And then I also give you a whole bunch of recipes. So there's like this little ebook guide that goes along with it that gives you the recipes and how to do it.
Okay, how long would it take me to get through this course?
An hour.
Okay, an hour. How much did you charge for your live workshop on it?
So when I teach it live,
Mm-hmm.
I was charging $30.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when I did it for one-to-ones, I made them pay the groceries. When I did it for a group, we split the cost of the groceries, mostly because we ate almost everything that we were making.
That's
And
awesome.
those things that we couldn't eat, we had a raffle and somebody took it home.
And then inside the course, do you have like a demo of you getting the groceries and then making
So
it?
the goal is to make a demo of
Yeah.
me teaching how to do that. And then
Yeah.
it's also going to come with the grocery list.
Okay, love that. I think $30 is kind of, or under, is kind of the sweet spot on that. It could be a tripwire for you. So it's um, so the only thing is, does it talk about gut health or like the chemicals or anything like kind of your
It talks about the ingredients and
yeah.
why this is better than either grabbing something fast food on the road or buying, like Pop-Tarts or
So
bread.
I almost want, it's not just breakfast for busy people. This is, I'm terrible with titles. Super healthy. It's more than just breakfast for busy people. It's like pure breakfast for busy people. All that, like
It's the real food
the
breakfast for
real food breakfast for
okay.
busy people. That would, so I'm already hooked about breakfast for busy people. If you say it's the real food breakfast, I am in,
Okay.
because I am a health nut, and that's what I want.
Sure, and that will highlight that it is real food. I'm not telling you to go buy a package of egg
Pop
bite
tart, right? Pop tarts or egg bites,
or
right? You're not telling me to drive
cereal.
to Starbucks and get some egg bites, right?
Right, right.
You're like, hey, the course is over. No, so and you're gonna teach me how to do it fast and to prepare, and
Yes.
then this is the gateway to what? So if I get real, go ahead.
That class typically tends to go along. I have another class called Fast Fun Freezer Meals, where
Mm-hmm.
I teach people how to prep 20 to 24 servings of dinner for the freezer in 90 minutes or less.
Whoa, I want
And
that one. Is that available?
that is available, actually. That
How
one
much
is
is?
currently available. I believe it's $27.
Okay, so great. So I'm thinking about customer journey for you. So before we hopped on, you talked about you have one-on-one coaching, you do group coaching, you want to scale, like you mentioned here. So I would like you to think in terms of your customer journey. So perhaps you have a bunch of these smaller courses, right? Like Tripwire. I'm not saying 1,000 of them, right? Like maybe you have a couple that are the gateway to whatever the bread and butter and the core course it is. It's not the preparedness one, Mira. It might be group coaching with you. So I either take the real food breakfast for busy people, I take the frozen dinner one, or the migraine one. I would kind of segment differently. That's a different, but the nutrition one. So maybe you have 2 or 3 lower price point nutrition ones that then the upsell goes into a group coaching program,
Right.
where it's a 6-week program and you really drill down on gut health and these ingredients and whatever the promise is.
So we didn't
Yeah,
we didn't finish the
we didn't.
upsell from
Yeah.
both of
Oh,
those.
sorry. Go.
I actually have another program that I'm in the process of
Yeah.
rebranding.
Okay.
I'm a content creator. Like
Yeah, and this is great because
I love
you are not
I love
alone.
help and then I get stuck.
Yeah.
So the other one that I have is my so it's currently called 21-day nutrition reset program.
Oh, right. Okay. 21
And
day. What do I get? 21 days
so
to
what
what?
you get is you get 21 days to rebuild healthy habits and clean up your diet.
And how much is that?
So that currently is also $249. So that is 3 weeks. Every day you get a video from me, you get content from me, and that class has massive amounts of handouts.
Okay, that could be the bread and
Recipes,
butter.
it's
That could be
got
the bread and butter.
right. And so what happens is breakfast for busy people and fast fun freezer meals are both supposed to lead into the 21-day nutrition reset.
And are they? They're
Not
not out yet. Are
they're
they?
not out yet. Because what
Okay.
happens is I was teaching all of these live. So the 3 classes that I currently have built
Yeah.
that are available for sale. Well, migraine is about to be available for sale. 21-day nutrition reset is available.
Mhm.
The test launch did not go well. What I realized or what I was told was I need a hook. So it's going to be rebranded as the 21-day nutrition reset for gut health. And
Okay.
then,
Yes.
then, um, and then the preparedness pantry.
Okay. So, and then wait, we're missing one. Preparedness breakfast or
Oh,
busy?
actually, the 21-day was supposed to be for autoimmune health, but now I think
Gonna
we're
be
going
gut
to
health.
change it to gut health. Yeah.
Okay, so I had a woman named Elaine Travis on this show, and Elaine was a colorist who very similar. She was putting out a $249 or like a $300. I'll send you the link to this, and I'll link to it in the show notes.
Great.
She's putting out like a $300 program to new colorists, and they were not biting. They were just not. They're like, no, lady, we're not gonna bite. Then together we came up with an idea to put out a $19 paid webinar, a real math. That's what I would consider a masterclass.
Okay.
And she got 100 people on that.
Oh,
And
wow.
then she put out a $27 masterclass, got 100 people on that. And then that's what she did. And then off of that, she started selling her $300 course. But my hallucination is they want to buy from you, but they want like that little bite first, and then they'll buy that 21-day reset from you, just like Elaine.
Okay.
Okay,
So you're saying that breakfast and fast fun freezer meals is that $27 price point?
is the gateway, and it might not be 27, right? That's what I'm saying.
And then,
Yes,
what do you think of the price on the 21-day nutrition reset? Because that is like 3 week,
I'm
21.
fine with 249, or I would start there and then raise the price. So it
Okay.
sounds like uh and then what I would do is in that breakfast, the real food breakfast for busy people, I would have a lesson in there, a bonus about gut health that leads to the 21-day reset. Same for the freezer meals, right? So it's a direct, like, you have to tell them this is just the start. Like, you're going to get them hooked on real food, because who are your people? Who are your people? Are they already achievers who want to get healthier? Are they garbage eaters who
So
just need to know where to start?
they're actually kind of in the middle. They think they eat
Okay.
pretty healthy, but they have chronic health issues, usually centered around the gut. And they're beginning to realize that whatever they're being told by their current health practitioners is not helping them. And
Okay.
they're looking for more solutions, but they're in pain and they're motivated.
Okay, so I heard they already asked for advice on this. So they sought out a practitioner. That's meaningful, right? So
Yeah.
it bothered him.
Doctor.
I'm sorry,
Usually, they're usually seeing a
a
doctor.
doctor.
They've either
Okay.
got a gastroenterologist or
Mhm.
they've got a primary care who cares deeply but doesn't know enough about nutrition or doesn't understand the impact of what's in what we eat.
Yeah.
And so that's where they're getting stuck.
Okay, a fun game I like to play too, Mira, is saying like, okay, right now they're eating at Panera. I'm just like, it might not be Panera. They're eating at blank,
Yeah.
or they're shopping here, and they might not. Do they need to shop at Whole Foods? Maybe not. Maybe like in between, like their neighborhood grocery store, like healthier grocery store. Like we have Sprouts. But maybe they're going from Panera to the Greens Cafe. I don't know. So that's like,
And so I will tell you, I love that thought and part of my promise. So I
yeah,
also have the book,
yeah.
the preparedness pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not the preparedness
Preparatory
pantry
principle.
principle.
Yes.
Um, it doesn't matter where you shop. It doesn't
Okay.
matter where you eat out. What matters is understanding what's in what you eat.
Love
And
it.
so, and I also frequently on social media and in everything else, when I talk with people, I encourage them, be brand disloyal. I don't care where you
I
go
love that.
or where
Okay.
you eat. I
Yeah.
just want you to make the best choice for you.
Okay, and you're gonna show me how to do that. Okay, so they went to see their doctor. There's something going on here, and they
Mhm.
just don't know the right direction. So
Yeah.
you're giving them a taste of the right direction with the freezer meals and the real food breakfast. But then if they really want to change their lifestyle for the long term, they've got to do the 21-day reset with you.
Yes.
That's the story you need to tell them.
Okay.
Okay, that's the journey. So
Thank you.
now so now the migraine is interesting. Like, that to me is another customer journey. And that's okay, right? Like, that's okay. So
And that's fine. And I will share that actually came, I mean, all of this has come
yeah.
out of my own personal journey.
Mhm.
But, migraines especially, I come from a family of migraineurs and
Yeah.
I have struggled with migraines for a lot of time. And nobody ever talked about the really deep level of some of the things that are going on that impact our migraines. And so out of that, I just wound up building this program because I think this is one health condition that is so misunderstood when it comes to food. A lot of people just suffer with it and you don't have to.
Okay, I love this. It's basically, I'm gonna totally bastardize this, but is it like eating to get rid of your migraines? Or is it like what you need to eat to get rid of your
So it's not just eating, it's
migraines?
also some lifestyle choices and other things. But
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot about food in there because weirdly enough, there's like 3 different layers of
Yeah.
food intervention. So there's what's in what you eat.
Yeah.
There's specific foods that are triggers, and then there's your bio-individual triggers because of food sensitivity.
Okay. And who is the person who would buy this?
Somebody who suffers with migraines who just wants to know.
Dig down a deeper though. Would it be somebody who wants a natural way to
Yes,
cure? Okay.
absolutely.
So
They don't want it. They're tired of taking Imitrex three,
that's
four,
right.
5, 10 times a month.
Okay. And they're looking for another way.
Yeah.
So that might be a different audience than this
Mm-hmm.
person. So your other audience might be kind of begrudgingly pushed toward eating healthier versus the migraine might be a little more, I don't want to say achiever, but they want the natural way. So
Well,
it might,
they're more motivated,
yeah, more motivated is a better way to say it. So
sure.
I'm that person who always looks for the natural way, right?
Right,
First, I don't want to use prescription products, right?
right.
So I think for the migraine, it's for somebody who's Googling, and this is like a great search for you, natural ways to cure migraines, or not cure, sorry, natural ways to treat migraines.
I
So
would
just
say to get rid of.
okay, there we go. So that see the nuance there?
Uh,
And then that person can still go to your 21-day reset,
well, they can because
right?
that's totally still aligned with what's going on.
It's just different. It's just a different audience. It might be
Yeah.
like a slight, but then they'll converge, right? So it's someone who wants better for themselves, but I just see a little bit of a nuance between that and like maybe the real food breakfast for busy people. But you will attract people like me who are googling natural stuff anyway because I
Mhm.
perked up. Real food breakfast? Yes. Yes, please. You
So
will
so
attract both.
let me ask you, how
Yeah.
would you feel then if so right now I have the 21-day nutrition reset program. It's all built out. I've been teaching that class for 8 years. Well,
Love it.
almost 8 years. I didn't
Yeah.
do it in 2020 for obvious
Yeah,
reasons.
right. Yeah, we didn't do a
Um,
lot of things in 2020. Yeah.
um, but so like I said, I'm shifting it to 21-day nutrition reset for gut health. So do you think it makes sense to copy it and make a 21-day nutrition reset for migraines?
No,
And
I don't think
then,
you need to do
no,
that.
okay.
No, I think you tell the story. That's like now you're on your road to the natural solution for migraines. This is a lifestyle shift for you. The next step is the 21-day reset. So you feel the benefit all over your body. So it's not just about migraines.
Well,
Okay.
and for so many people, what they don't realize is the gut and the brain are highly connected. So,
There,
yeah,
boom. You just made your transition right there and your connection. This is why
yeah,
it's the next path for you.
right.
All
Okay.
roads lead to that 21-day reset. That is your bread and butter.
So then that could be, so the gut and the brain are a connected thing, could be a video at the end of the
A
migraine.
bonus. A
Yeah.
bonus. Yes. Love it. And that makes a connection. And you're planting those seeds throughout, right? So this is just the beginning for the migraine course, right? This is just the beginning. Like I'm not just about treating your migraines, about treating the whole person. And like you can have that as a bonus video, but you're planting those seeds from the very beginning about gut health and the brain.
Okay.
Okay?
So then I have another interesting question.
Yes.
I have a Mighty Networks community.
Great. Okay.
The Eating Guru community is
How
on.
much how much is that?
So the top level is free. And
Okay.
then that's just like there's some activity there. And then
Yeah.
I'm slowly building everything else there.
Okay.
So my
Great.
question is,
We love Mighty Networks. Okay.
we do, it's great.
Yes.
So my question is, I was thinking that as I am getting ready to launch this migraine thing, and even with the other classes, I was thinking of creating circles for each of the different programs. Do I charge for the circles? Are the circles free?
Ooh. I think you have to test this. So wait, can I go back for the free? Do you feel a lot of friction with the free community for people signing up for Mighty Networks to get into the free community? Are you experiencing friction on that or not really?
So I am. I left Facebook for
Yes.
a lot of reasons.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
So I left behind a community of almost 1,000 to go to Mighty and
Yeah.
had about a 19% transfer rate.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. There's
decided I
friction.
didn't care. I'm not going
Yeah.
back. And I also understand for a lot of people, they're stuck on Facebook because they like that dopamine rich click, scroll,
Yeah. And they're
excitement.
there. They're there. Right. They're
Right.
there.
And my thing is, I'm about building a community. I want to,
Yeah.
we are supporting each other. We are in community together. And so I'm willing to take that step back. But I also know that, and the reason I ask you that question is
Yeah.
because I have my courses that I'm putting there. So obviously those are going to be paid. I would like to have individual circles for some of my programs, like the migraine course, that
Yes.
specific one.
Yes.
I think breakfast for busy people and fast fun freezer meals can go in the top level, and that's totally fine.
100%. Yeah.
I also don't want to have to run too many circles for free because that's a huge time in.
Right. So I think you're on the right track here. So, and I'm wondering if eventually that free Mighty Networks goes away, and it collapses. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah,
That I would do. I like your idea of having a community for breakfast for busy people and the freezer people. Heck, even the like migraine people. Like, so they have different interests. Like they're your beginner tier. That's the way I see it.
right.
And then maybe once they get into the 21-day reset, they graduate a little bit, and then there's a second circle for them. There's a
Okay,
different
so
circle.
so then the other thing that Ivy actually helped me, we haven't
Shout
we
out to
started
Ivy.
and then
Yeah.
we love Ivy. She's awesome. Really, I honestly I think she's the best thing ever. So we started it and then we pulled back because we
Yeah.
realized that we sort of jumped the gun a little bit. We created something else called the Ingredient Guru Tribe, and
Okay.
that is a monthly paid Mighty community. So would it be better as we're launching these lower tiered programs? And it was only going to be $7 a month. Like, it was not hugely
Mm,
expensive,
yeah.
but it would give people more access to me. And then I was thinking in the tribe, once we get that kicked off, that we were going to have like monthly office hours. So once a month, I would go in live in the community.
So I'm not saying no to that. I would validate that. Do your
Okay.
people is that what they need? Right? Versus
Well, I'm saying, so like if you take breakfast for busy people and you take fast fun freezer meals and you
yeah,
take migraine and you take
right,
21 day or whatever, and you want
right.
to connect with me more than the free level, which is still useful and valuable, but
Yeah.
not, I'm not like really
Yeah. I know. I think
diving
that goes away, but
going
yes.
on.
Yeah.
Um, to have that $7 layer means that you get more access to me and you can stay connected to me. And then once a month, there's like a little video, and I will do either hot seats or I will do mailbag or I will do.
So I would only do that if it's a feeder for your programs, your paid programs. If it's an effective
Oh,
feeder,
I was thinking that was a feeder to one.
okay, so now you have a different customer path though.
Oh,
So because
okay.
your programs could be a feeder to one. So those lower price points, and if they don't want to do the 21-day reset, everything's going to be a feeder to the one. So don't even worry about that. They're going to want your one time. Any way you shake it, they're going to want you.
Okay.
So I would not do this. What's the outcome of that $7? I guess would be my question. And it doesn't feel like a real purpose right now unless it's sold into your 21-day reset, or yeah, that's the only thing I would
No,
question.
and that makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, that's part of why we pulled back, because we were like,
Yeah.
this is going to be a lot of work for
I
like.
think I think that right. It's gonna be a lot of work. It's like, ooh, the free isn't quite working. Do we do that? And it's like, but I don't know if the $7 works. So I think you'll just want a different feeder into those lower price point courses that then feed into your 21-day reset. So I think
Okay.
that's something to think about with Ivy, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Well, and that's definitely something that can be on the back burner for right now, because we have the migraine program, which is just about to launch. And so, before we hopped on, I had mentioned that the migraine program, we were thinking of launching it for free, and then around March,
And
because
then
we
I
were
didn't
gonna
like
do
that,
the
right?
list builder. Right.
And
We
I
were
said
going
I
to
didn't
do
want you
the
to
list.
launch it for free.
And you said, why can't we start now? Um, so I guess my question to you is, so if we start now, we do have 21 day, it's just not built out with the gut health moniker.
That's okay.
But
So
okay.
I would charge a little bit more for the migraine one, by the way.
Okay.
Then it's worth more to people than breakfast. Like
Yeah.
breakfast is very important. But migraine, that's like one of the things that drives up prices for your courses is the transformation and
Mhm.
how much is the pain point really affecting people. And migraines, as you know, are can be very, very, very tough on people and crippling.
Yeah.
So I would charge more for that
Okay.
based
So,
on because breakfast, real food breakfast is a nice to have. Migraine feels like a need
okay.
to have to
And
help
so
me.
what would you see, like 37, 47?
Yeah, I would test that. So maybe you start at 40, maybe you start there. Depending on how much is in the course, maybe you pull back on some things, Mira, you don't release the whole thing and you just start with a portion.
I actually like the whole thing together because I feel
Okay.
like it's a well-crafted journey.
Yeah. So I
More,
would test.
more
I'm fine
modular.
with test. Okay. Test a lower price point and then raise the price.
Okay.
But make sure you raise the price.
All right. So hang on. Let me make
But
myself
I
a
would
note.
test. I would test. I would validate that. Just have conversations with people. You know people who have migraines. Connect with people, and then just see like what would this be worth to you? A natural solution. How much
Okay.
would you pay for that? It would take you this long to get through it, and at the end of it, this is what the promise is, and see how much people would pay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean the program itself is I believe it's 4 hours.
Oh, oh, whoa. Oh, is it 4 hours? That's a big program.
Hang on, I have to go look at it so I can.
Okay. Well, you can let me know after too.
Yeah.
But
No, but it's the
that's a
modules are
significant program. So, okay, if you do have a 4 hour program, that to me that's not a starter course, that is not a tripwire, that is a significant program. So if there's some way to break out part of it so you can do a starter course from it, and I hear what you're saying, you like it all together, but if
Yeah.
there is a way, there might not be a way. Then you're just gonna market it differently. You're gonna charge more and market it differently. Then it
Sure.
won't go into these lower price courses. That's okay. That's okay. It'll just be a different journey. So, so we've been talking for a little bit, and this has been hopefully people have really been enjoying. Is
Yeah,
there
no,
anything that I haven't answered for you, or has this been helpful?
this has been incredibly helpful. And I will say, I think one of the things I appreciate so much is the target on helping me with the pricing, because that's one area where I really struggle. And then helping me expand how to explain to people what the benefit is of what they're doing. And also just because of the nature of how we've been talking, you've helped me lay out the protocol. I mean, we are doing it a little bit quote unquote backwards, I guess, because 21 day nutrition reset is going to come before breakfast and fast fun freezer meals, but we'll at least have that big layer there, and then we'll put the lower layers in. So now we have a direction that we can go in. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And then I know it's painful or it doesn't feel, but I think sometimes the challenge we have, like that preparedness pantry program, where it's like we have a lot of content and we should be charging a higher price point, but really people just want something cheaper, so we got to give them something more focused and contained to start.
Well, so
You
let
know?
me ask you then.
Yeah.
I have the 10 part of that program
Yeah.
is the 10 tips for emergency preparedness, which isn't
Okay.
really about the pantry. It's about emergency preparedness. And I'm
Mhm.
not talking preparedness like prepper level, end of the world is coming, store up 5 years
Yeah.
worth.
Right. Right. Right.
Like
Yeah.
I appreciate people who can do that, but this is just for average everyday people who just want to have 2 to 4 weeks worth of supplies on hand in their home. Do you think that would be the one module that would peel away very easily? Do you think it's worth it to peel that off and put like a $17 price tag on it?
I don't, because your bread and butter is ingredients, and about the food, and I do not want you to separate yourself from that.
Yeah. Okay. And
I
so
want
that,
you to remember why people come to you.
sure. And so I would have to look very carefully
Yeah.
at what's already in the program, but
Yes.
so the class, the preparedness pantry program, because we're going to change that name, is currently it's 3 classes with me. Each class is 40 minutes to an hour. And then I have 6 bonus interviews with other experts in other areas. And then we've got the 10 tips, plus we've got 2 phenomenal workbooks. So, and tons of handouts. So, there's lots of information in there, but I can't see taking anything out of all that other content and paring it down into something tiny. Like that would be really hard. I think
Okay.
it would be hard to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So then I think you need to look at that and say, okay, if if the price point's too high for what people want to buy, and that's my hallucination right now.
Mhm.
So what do we bundle it with something else?
Mhm.
What's another way that we could market this? Or, is it an offshoot? Like it's just seasonal, like we talked about, like once a year. And like
Oh,
to me, that's not your bread and butter, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. So what about if we took, and I'm just thinking out loud
Yeah.
here because I've got all kinds of ideas. Um, so at the end of 21-day nutrition reset, what if the upsell was the preparedness pantry program for like 50% off its current price?
Yeah,
We
maybe,
already
maybe. I
took
think you need to test that, right? So and then tell the story that leads to that. I
free if
just don't
you
know.
just spent 21 days cleaning up your health and your
Right,
wellness
time to
and
be
arguing
prepared, right. Yeah,
okay,
that might be a great thing to test. I think
okay.
I think when something doesn't sell, we just need to test. What if we tried it this way? Oh, and build on success. So, in the other last thing I'll leave you with, those folks that did buy, why
Yes.
did they buy? What
Mhm.
was it? What was it about your program that said, yes, I need this? And how can you build on that success?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
that would mean surveying my
Yeah, I
people.
would go back to them. I would get them on the horn. Okay. And build on that success, Mira.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gina. This has been
I
amazing.
do, I know it's a lot. So,
It is, but you know what? I've got a ton of notes here and
okay.
a whole bunch of highlights and it's
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm sure Ivy will keep me updated. So thanks so much for coming by the show.
thank you so much.